Before him, silence already knew my name. It wrapped itself around my days like a second skin. Quiet, patient, invisible to everyone else. I learned how to smile without meaning it. How to answer, "I'm fine," without choking on the lie. People looked at me and saw someone whole. No one ever stayed long enough to see the cracks. Night was when the truth surfaced. I would sit on the edge of my bed, phone dark in my hand, waiting for a message that never came. The room felt too big, the walls too close. Time moved slowly, cruelly, as if it knew exactly where I was hurting. That was the night I felt it. Not a sound, not a shadow, just a shift in the air. Heavy, alert, watching. My heart began to race for no reason at all. Or maybe there was a reason. I just hadn't met it yet. You feel it too, don't you? The voice didn't come from the room. It came from inside me. I turned sharply. The room was empty, door locked, window closed. And yet, I was no longer alone. He told me later. He said he had been watching for a long time. Watching the way I carried my sadness quietly. The way I cried in the shower so no one would hear. The way I believed I was invisible, unchosen, easily forgotten. "You were always mine," he said once. Not as a threat, as a fact. The first time I saw him, I didn't scream. That still haunts me. He stood against the wall of my bedroom as if he had always belonged there. Tall. Still. His eyes were too dark, unnaturally so, absorbing light instead of reflecting it. When they met mine, something twisted painfully in my chest. Fear. And relief. "Who are you?" I whispered. He smiled slowly. A dangerous kind of smile. "Someone who will never abandon you." Those words should have terrified me. Instead, they sank deep into the emptiness I had been carrying for years. That was the moment I should have run. I didn't. He never touched me with his hands. He touched me with his voice. With the way he said my name like it meant something ancient. With the way his gaze lingered, heavy and possessive. "You feel empty because you don't belong to this world," he said one night. The room was dark, the air cold. "Then where do I belong?" I asked. He stepped closer. Too close. The temperature dropped. To me, my body reacted before my mind could stop it. A shiver ran through me, sharp and electric. Part of me wanted to step back. Another part, terrifyingly, wanted to lean in. "This isn't normal," I whispered. "Nothing real ever is," he replied. That was when the fear began to grow. That was also when the desire did. He never asked permission. He never needed to. The truth didn't arrive all at once. It came in fractures, in mirrors that didn't reflect him, in the silence where a heartbeat should have been, in the way he spoke of time as if it were meaningless. "How old are you?" I asked once, trying to sound casual. He studied me for a long moment. Too long. "Older than you could endure." That night, I dreamed of fire and shadows, of voices calling my name in languages I didn't understand. I woke up crying, a presence sitting beside me. "I warned you," he said calmly. "I'm not like them." "What are you?" I asked, tears streaming down my face. He leaned forward, resting his forehead against mine. "I am the one who saw you when no one else did. I am the one who will never share you. I am the one you belong to." My heart screamed danger. My soul recognized him. And that was when I understood. This was not human love. This was something older, darker, and endlessly hungry. At first, his presence felt like protection. The loneliness faded. The nights weren't so quiet anymore. When the world ignored me, he didn't. When I doubted myself, he reminded me who I was, to him. But slowly, things changed. "You don't need them," he would say, when I mentioned friends. "They don't see you like I do." When my phone buzzed with messages, his eyes darkened. "Why do they need you?" he asked softly. I started canceling plans, ignoring calls, staying in my room longer than I should have. With him, it felt easier that way. Safer. And when fear crept in, he wrapped his words around it, tightening gently. "I'm the only one who will never leave," he whispered. "And you know it." I did. That was the most terrifying part. One night, I tried to push back. "I need space," I said. "I need to remember who I was before." His expression changed. Not anger. Something worse. Possession. "There was no before me," he said quietly. "There is only what you are now." The room felt smaller, the air heavy. "You belong to me," he repeated, "and I protect what's mine." That was the moment the truth settled fully in my chest. He didn't just love me, he was consuming me. And part of me, weak, aching, desperate, was letting him. I didn't notice it at first. That was the cruelest part. The world didn't disappear suddenly. It dimmed. Like a light slowly turned down until everything outside him felt distant, unreal. Colors dulled, voices blurred. People spoke to me, and I answered on instinct, my mind somewhere else. With him. He was always there when I closed my eyes. "You're drifting," my sister said once, her brow furrowed with worry. "You look tired. Are you sleeping at all?" I smiled. The practiced smile. "I'm fine." Later that night, he appeared beside my bed, shadows folding around him like a cloak. "They feel you slipping away," he said calmly. "That's what happens when something precious stops belonging to them." "I don't belong to anyone," I said, though my voice lacked conviction. He leaned down, his lips close to my ear. "You belong to me," he whispered, "and the world is learning how to live without you." A strange peace settled in my chest. I didn't fight it. The first time I saw what he really was, I screamed. It happened by accident, or maybe by intention. His control slipped for a moment. The room darkened unnaturally, shadows stretching where they shouldn't have. His eyes glowed, not with light, but with depth, like endless corridors opening into something ancient, not human, never human. He turned toward me too slowly. "I didn't mean for you to see that yet," he said. "What are you?" I cried, backing away until I hit the wall. He approached, and the air bent around him. "I am desire given form," he said softly. "I am hunger. I am devotion that never ends." I shook my head, tears burning my eyes. "You're not real." He smiled gently. "I'm more real than anyone who ever left you." The words pierced deeper than fear ever could. And just like that, I stayed. The first time I saw what he really was, I screamed. It happened by accident, or maybe by intention. His control slipped for a moment. The room darkened unnaturally, shadows stretching where they shouldn't have. His eyes glowed, not with light, but with depth, like endless corridors opening into something ancient, not human, never human. He turned toward me too slowly. "I didn't mean for you to see that yet," he said. "What are you?" I cried, backing away until I hit the wall. He approached, and the air bent around him. "I am desire given form," he said softly. "I am hunger. I am devotion that never ends." I shook my head, tears burning my eyes. "You're not real." He smiled gently. "I'm more real than anyone who ever left you." The words pierced deeper than fear ever could. And just like that, I stayed. The dreams became darker. I dreamed of chains made of shadow, of doors closing behind me one by one, of my voice echoing, unheard. When I woke up crying, he was there. "You're afraid," he said, not unkindly. "Fear is just your old life, fighting to survive." "I feel trapped," I admitted, my voice breaking. He cupped my face at last, his touch cold, electric, overwhelming. "You're not trapped," he said. "You're chosen." The word wrapped around my throat like a promise, or a warning. "Say it," he whispered. "Say you're mine." I opened my mouth and hesitated. For the first time, his expression darkened completely. "You don't get to hesitate," he said quietly. The room trembled, and I understood then. This was no longer love that protected me from loneliness. This was love that demanded everything, including me. The thought arrived quietly, not as courage, as exhaustion. I was so tired of disappearing. I waited until the room was empty, until the air felt lighter, until his presence loosened its grip just enough for me to breathe without him inside my thoughts. I packed nothing, no bags, no memories, just my body and the fragile idea of escape. When my hand touched the doorknob, the lights flickered. "You're leaving," his voice said behind me. Not a question. I turned slowly. He stood there, calm as ever, shadows coiling at his feet like living things. "I need to remember who I am," I said. My voice shook, but I didn't stop. "I can't keep losing myself." He studied me with something like sorrow. "There is no self outside of me anymore," he replied. The door slammed shut on its own. "You don't leave what you belong to." For the first time I screamed his name, not in longing, but in defiance. "I am not yours." The room reacted before he did. Walls groaned, the temperature dropped, shadows climbed the ceiling like veins. His eyes burned darker than I had ever seen them. "You were empty when I found you," he said, stepping closer. "I filled you." "You hollowed me out," I cried. "You replaced me with you." Something ancient flickered across his face. Pain. "You begged to be seen," he whispered, "and now you're terrified of what saw you." Tears streamed down my face. I'd rather be alone than owned. Silence fell, thick, unbearable. When he spoke again, his voice was softer, more dangerous. "If you leave," he said, "I will never let you forget me." I don't remember how I got out, only that the world felt unbearably loud afterward. Cars, voices, sunlight, all of it hurt. My body moved like it didn't belong to me anymore. People said I looked better, stronger. They didn't see the way I froze at night, the way shadows still felt alive, the way my thoughts weren't always mine. Sometimes, when I closed my eyes, I felt him. Not beside me, inside me. "You can pretend," his voice would murmur in my dreams. "But you were shaped by me." I woke up crying more often than not, because part of me missed him. And that truth terrified me more than his darkness ever had. Years have passed. I learned how to live again, how to love sunlight, how to exist without shrinking. I rebuilt myself slowly, painfully, piece by piece. But some nights, the air still changes. I feel that familiar weight, that ancient attention. "You survived," he whispers from somewhere deep and unseen. "I always knew you would." I don't answer. I don't invite him in. But I also know this. He was never just a monster. And I was never just a victim. We were something forbidden, something unfinished. And even now, when the world grows quiet, I wonder, not if he's still watching, but whether a part of me will always belong to what was never human.